All right, good morning, y'all. God bless. It is a turned up Tuesday. It is Tuesday, March the 22nd, 2022, 13 minutes after the hour. Welcome. Good morning to the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team with Barbi Cologne this morning. Only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Good morning. God bless you. Like my mother always say, thank God for Jesus. iHeartRadio, radio.com. We broadcasting live. ShawnHarveyMorningShow.com. We appreciate you. That chat room is wide open. Come on in, guys, and let's enjoy a great show this morning. Or you can call in. The number's 570-982-6950. Call in and let's converse about whatever we're talking about. We truly appreciate you guys this morning. Thank you so much. You can Google the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team. All the links come up. Thank you. The show is distributed by Comedy World Network. Please download the app. We truly appreciate you guys over there as well. If you're not on social media and you're not on the online radio, you could go to YouTube and subscribe to our page, the Shawn Harvey Morning Show. Like and subscribe to the page. And you can watch the show or hear the show once we go live. So shout out to the folks over there on YouTube. We definitely appreciate you over there. Also on social media, on the Facebook, I guess, go to the Shawn Harvey Morning Show business page, like the page, and you get notified when we go live. Also, please download the 108 Soul app. You can listen to the show there as well. So we appreciate you guys over there as well. And join our group, the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team group. Thank you for everybody who invite themselves to the page. We accept you, and you come on in, and you have a whole family of folks over there posting in the group. So we appreciate you as well. This is where you get your morning love. But most importantly, it's the only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Barbi Cologne, good morning. God bless you. How are you? You're looking good this morning, Barbi. What's going on?
Good morning, Shawn. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome. Here in Bethlehem, where we broadcast live to you from right now, it is 47 degrees. Today's high is going to be 57, and it's going to be a cloudy day with a few peaks of sunshine here and there. But for the most part, it's going to be cloudy. 43 in Strasburg, 56 for the high and cloudy as well. 47 in Newark, New Jersey. The high today is going to be 59, partly cloudy. In New York City, it is 46 today. The high is going to be 58 and partly cloudy. 53 in Atlanta, 76 for the high, cloudy with overnight rainstorms. 74 in Miami, 80 for the high and partly cloudy. In Chicago, it is 53 degrees, and that will be the high of 53. And it's going to rain all day in Chicago. In Los Angeles, 58 right now. 88 will be the high and clear. It's going to be beautiful. In Louisville, 54, 70 for the high. Heavy rain this morning, and it's going to taper off, and then it's going to start raining again on and off throughout the day. In Rochester, 28 degrees, 44 for the high, and partly cloudy. In New Iberia, it's 73 degrees, 75 for the high, cloudy with thunderstorms throughout the day. That's the weather I have for you all. What's it look like where you are? Barbi Cologne coming to you live from the Shawn Harvey Morning Show with me. Yeah. Well, you get your morning started right.
Get your morning started right, guys. Good morning. Only place on earth where you get your morning started right. We have the morning buzz. You know the deal with that, guys. There's one thing that we can guarantee on this show, that your head will be buzzing before 9 a.m. or before 8 a.m. or before 7:30 in the morning. So we want to tune into the morning buzz. Please like and share the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team Morning Buzz. Also, we have the front page news this morning with Barbi Cologne, where we give you the news locally, nationally, and globally. And you know how I like it from the hood. So stay tuned for front page news as well. Barbi, what else you have?
And there will be some Harvey House Sports. You guys stay tuned.
Okay, so guys, we're going to take a quick 30-second break. Wait, before we take a break.
Yeah.
All right, because we have critical thinking with me. And guys, welcome to the show this morning. God bless you guys. I hope everything's okay. All right, quick. Okay, so I'm going to take a break, but I ask you guys a question. This is a simple question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the answer should be complicated, but in some folks it might be. So here we go. I'm gonna throw this question out there to you guys, and it's something real simple. And you guys can put the information in the group room, or you could call in or whatever. Now here's the question. It's very simple. I'm gonna take a quick break, and hold on, give me a second. Okay. Please download the Comedy World Network app, and let's enjoy all the content that's over there. Okay, question. Do y'all remember your childhood address? It's a simple question. Do you remember your childhood address? If you want to put the address in the chat room, I wouldn't put the whole address in as a child, but the street, or not the street number, but this, not the whole address, but do you remember your childhood address? It's a simple question, but it might have a complicated answer to it. Because some of us had some horrific childhoods, and we don't want to remember where we used to live. It's a simple answer. I lived on Home Street in the Bronx. I think that's the first place that I remember. I think I was born on this street. Do you remember your childhood address? We'll be right back. Critical thinking. Do you remember your childhood address? Put the address in there. We'll be right back.
Big shout to my son, Big Homie Hill. I see you.
And doing it strong.
All right, good morning, guys. It's 20 minutes after the hour. Welcome, Shawn Harvey Morning Show Wake Up Team. That's Barbi Cologne, where you get your morning started right. Only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Please share this show on all media. Barbi, what's going on with the weather?
Here in Bethlehem right now, it is 47 degrees. The high is going to be 57. It's going to be cloudy. And in New York City, 46 right now, 58 for the high, and cloudy as well. That's the weather I have for y'all. What's it look like where you are? Barbi Cologne coming to you live from the Shawn Harvey Morning Show. And this weather was sponsored by Comedy World Net Radio. Make sure y'all check them out.
Yeah, please, everybody. Been asked yesterday, and I want you guys to do me a favor, if you don't mind. Download the Comedy World Network app, please. Remember, when we go offline, this is the places that you have to go to, because it's getting very difficult for me to jumpstart this whole thing while the show is going on. Don't get me wrong. I'm putting in that work to make sure everything is okay, so you guys can hear it and see it visually and audio version of this. But sometimes it gets a little technical for me. So sometimes, please get these apps. So just in case the feed goes off, the show continuously runs. The show doesn't stop.
No, we don't.
So please, I know we get spoiled and it's a visual thing, but we're on somebody else's platform. But on Comedy World Network, ShawnHarvey.com, and also 108, these are these places that the show continuously runs, and all other affiliates. Now, a critical thing is 7:30, but just we'll have a little fun. Okay, so simple question, complicated answer. Here we go. Do you remember your childhood address? It's simple. I was 900 Home Street was mine. I could say because the building ain't even there no more. It's a parking lot now. That's where I was born. I mean, that's where I remember. That's where my parents. See, and that's the thing. It's a simple question. But how did my peoples get to that location? How did your people, how did your moms, your dad, your uncle, your grandma, how did they arrive there? I know we all came from the South. We came from a boat. That was the original address for most of us.
Not the boat, show it.
We came over on a boat, and we landed here in America. And my family's from the South, from Alabama, so you know we were slaves. My great-great-grandmother was a straight-up slave, 100%. And then a lot of black folks, right? Because it's a simple question, but the answer might be a little complicated. A lot of black folks on a Turned Up Tuesday, guys. We appreciate y'all. Good morning. I hope everybody's okay out there, and thank God for Jesus, like my mother always said. A lot of black folks made the migration from the South. From the South. They were from Mississippi to all the way as far north as Virginia. You know, that whole Confederate beltway. And they left the South to get the manufacturers' jobs in the North. Because the North was the powerhouse anyway. I don't know how the Confederates thought they were going to win a civil war when the mighty North of this country was straight industry. So a lot of folks, black folks, made the migration to Philly and West Chicago and New York, all these places. And that happened to me. Yeah. My parents, my calling, 570-982-6950, made the migration from deep woods, Barbi Cologne of Alabama, where they barely was wearing shoes back in the 1860s. And they landed in the Bronx, New York. So again, it's a simple question, but it might be a complicated answer. How did my mom and dad and my auntie, because Barbi, where I lived in the Bronx growing up in this building on Home Street, my mother lived in the building. My uncle, my mother's brother lived in the building. Yeah. There was another cousin that lived in the building. It was
a family affair.
There's a whole family. So how did that happen?
One person said, "Hey, they got good apartments here. You should come get one."
How did I wind up on Home Street in the Bronx over there by Innerville? There's a story to tell behind it. Do you remember your childhood address? Yes, a lot of us do. Maybe some of us don't.
Right.
Some of us don't even want to remember, Barbi Cologne, our childhood address, maybe because it was horrific childhood, and I say that in the most sincerity.
Maybe. Some people don't, Shawn. Yeah.
And then your childhood address, you know what it is. Think about it. Think about it, everybody. Home Street I was born on, it was the first time I got jumped by the kids upstairs.
Not the neighborhood kids.
The neighborhood kids.
God damn.
Well, we all got jumped. It was just my day and got time to get jumped.
No, not all of us.
Well, Barbi, God bless you.
I told you I was very sheltered.
I lived in a building that was on the 6th floor. It was a walk-up. We lived on the 6th floor. And back in those days, Barbi Cologne, they didn't have the child guard protection on the window.
Right. I remember those days.
So I said to my mother one day, I said, "Well, how the hell? Why didn't why am I still alive?" Because we didn't have the window guard. She said, "Because we always cracked the window a little bit."
And you knew better than go open that window and be all out hanging.
So, do you remember your childhood address? But do you remember how you got there? How did you get there? It's easy for us to say, "Yeah, Barbi Cologne, Home Street." But how did Shawn Harvey get to Home Street? What was the decisions that was made to get me there?
The what, Shawn? The decisions?
The decisions to get me there. We never asked that question. I want to know. I want to know what happened, or what happened in the relationships that we were in, that our parents were in, that people were in. There might have been a stressful situation that we didn't know about as kids that made us grow up in this neighborhood. What happened?
Yes.
Because some of us didn't have the white picket fence.
We didn't have white picket fence.
Some of us was born in trauma.
We had a little.
Some of us was born to save the relationship. Some of us was born. We were those baby. I don't. Hey. Some of us was born to keep the relationship together, but we might not even know it. Because sometimes the parents don't share it. Shawn Harvey Morning Show with Barbi Cologne. Good morning. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait, my ADHD's kicking in. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Good morning.
Good morning, Shawn and Barbi. This is Kwani. How are you?
Oh, come on, because she's the chat room member of the week. Hey, because you're the chat room member of the week. Jam on.
Yes.
Let's clap for you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I was calling about your question of the day. I actually remember the home that I grew up in and where it came from. The home was built from the bottom from my uncle Flip Wilson. He then, when he went to move to California, he gave it to my grandmother, and then in terms, it's been passed down to my parents, and it was in Jersey City. And at that point, we ended up in a bad fire in that building. Well, in the house, we ended up in a bad fire, and that was it. It was gone. So that's the history of my house.
See?
So I'm very fearful of fires.
Ooh.
Anything with fires, I'm fearful for my childhood because I was a little girl and all I saw was smoke, fire, and we had to get out. Wow. And the house was gone.
See? See? Simple question, but a complicated answer.
Yeah.
So the world famous Flip Wilson from back in the day, one well-renowned entertainer, funny as hell, is Kwani's grand uncle. That's what you said?
My great uncle.
Your great uncle.
Yes. And it's crazy. Yesterday when you was talking about comedians, I was trying to call in because I'm actually learning. I'm the oldest grandchild. So you know how people in the family try to keep the tradition going or the history going. Yeah. So I'm at the point now where I'm being taught by his right-hand man, which was his niece that went on tours and everything. But she's now in her 60s. And she's like, cuz I'm tired. I'm going to these events. They're introducing him into the Hall of Fame. And it's now time for me to teach somebody else the family history. So you can stand up there and never let his legacy die because, you know, they still honoring him. And when you was talking about comedians yesterday, me learning from my cousin, it's definitely very hard to get on because he was never really accepted until he did Geraldine and changed the whole game to men acting like women. Right. So it was very interesting. Yesterday I wanted to call in, but couldn't. But that's my story from my childhood home.
Interesting.
Princess, I'm okay. I think I'm sorry. You. Now,
what?
I'm all right, Princess. Thank you. I appreciate you, bro. Okay, so now,
yeah, he's fine.
Here we go. Do you remember your childhood address? See, look, if it wasn't for, that's the question, Barbi.
Yeah.
So see how it gets. See, there's a timeline. So the world famous Flip Wilson, right? Purchased a house in Jersey City. Became famous and hit the road and did whatever he did. Took the house and passed it down to the next person. Yeah. And then passed it to the next person. Yeah. And then Kwani Kwan was born into the house. Boom. That's the story. And then on top of that, trauma. I just said it. Trauma. Look what the trauma in the house. The house caught on fire. And of course, I would be fearful of fires too. As a little girl, being in a house with a fire, with smoke and flames, and seeing your life flash before you.
Yeah, it could be scary.
Yeah, it was very, very scary. I was about 5 years old.
It probably took her to the age of 20 to put an oven on.
Even now, like I wake up and I'm like, we don't have no candles on. Make sure everything is off. Right. I go downstairs. I check the stove. Right. I do that every single night. And if like where I live at, a lot of people burn wood outside. I go outside and actually look around and make sure there's nothing burning in my area.
Have you
And I can't get out of it.
have you ever been to therapy for this?
When I was younger, yes, I had to because the way they had to get me out was it was fast moving. Everybody had to get out the windows. Um, and I was just a little girl, and then I was sitting there just looking. I just remember little things, just looking and watching, but some things just is blinked out. I don't remember. All I know is fire. I can't take it. Anybody out here in the fire, I want to donate. I want to go help them. I feel bad even if I don't know them. So it's a constant thing. It don't go away.
Boy, that's interesting that this won't go away in your life, and you seek therapy, and I guess this is something that's part of your identity. Good, bad, or indifferent. Would you agree to that?
Yes.
Yeah, because this is because you just said that when there's fire victims, you are there to help. You sympathize because of what you went through, and you also fearful of the fire, and also the people who are burning the wood in the back of your house.
Yeah. Like Miko lived right next to me, and she be washing clothes, and you know how you can see the steam, the smoke coming from the chimneys. And I work from home, so I sit by my window, and the first thing I do, I look at the smoke. It's clear, but I still go downstairs, or I call her like, "You washing clothes or something?" It's automatic.
Yeah, everybody, Kwani Kwan's on the phone. Chat room member of the week. I'm Kwani Kwan to the break of dawn. Q to the U.
Yeah.
To
But I'm not going to stay long.
No, hold on, before you
back
go.
to work.
Oh yeah, all right. Let's clap for her. Come on, let's go. Because she's the chat room member of the week. Hey, because you're the chat room member of the week. Jam on. Now.
Yes.
Well, you can't even light a cigarette in front of Kwani. Do y'all remember your childhood address? It's a simple question, but look what happened. See what happened? It's deeper than that. I could easily say, wait, put your address in, your childhood address. I mean, don't put the whole address in. I'm gonna say, like I said before, Home Street in the Bronx is a parking lot now, or for Innerville, across the street from the fire station that's still there to this day. But it runs deeper than that. And look what Kwani Kwan, great uncle was Flip Wilson, the world famous. He purchased the house. He purchased the house, and the rest of the family started moving in.
Yeah.
Shawn Harvey Morning Show, Wake Up Team, Barbi Cologne this morning. Who's this?
Good morning, it's Amir Sealy.
All right, let's go. There you go. Right on time.
Good morning.
Right on time. Everybody, Amir Sealy's on the phone. Critical Thinking here on the show each and every Tuesday, 7:30, 7:35. We appreciate you. Good morning, brother. How you feel?
Good morning, Shawn. I'm good. Good morning, Barbi.
Good morning.
How you guys this morning?
Good.
You know what's so crazy? Like, it's weird how the universe works in mysterious ways. First off, address is 2000 Valentine Avenue in the Bronx. And we used to live on Union Avenue before we moved to Valentine Avenue. So Union Avenue when I was a little baby, and then I was maybe about 5 or 6, we moved over to Valentine Avenue.
Right. And Barbi, both locations are definitely in the hood. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
But the reason why I say it's funny how the universe works. So today's critical thinking segment is traumas and triggers.
Oh.
So it is so wild that Kwani got on just before I called in to share her experience. Right. Because I think that from a critical thinking standpoint, we a lot of times don't really think about how much traumas trigger us. Doesn't make a difference what the trauma is, but there is a way that you can tell, or at least have an idea of how traumas are triggering you, especially when it even comes to things as simple as conversations. If you're having a conversation and somebody makes a point and you won't let them finish the conversation before you jump in, you know how we have those conversations. Wait, but no, well, let me. that's a trauma and a trigger for you.
Right.
So there's a way for us to, hopefully going forward, start to allow people, first and foremost, if you're ever in a conversation with somebody, please do yourself a favor and allow them to finish their complete train of thought before you respond. I know sometimes it's hard for some of us just based off the way the world is set up now, and we feel like we have to, there's that one point that I need to get to. We have to do a better job of listening to a complete comment before we respond, because what happens is when you respond from an emotional standpoint and from a trigger standpoint, all you do, unfortunately, is hear the part of the conversation that you want to hear, and you miss probably the better part of the conversation, which is what the person is really trying to convey to you or for you. But just now, in listening to Kwani's, thought about what happened to her as a child in the fire, it shows you how traumas and triggers work so closely together. And I'm not sure if sometimes as friends, as family, as associates, and so forth and so on, we really realize that. Because you can have a conversation with somebody, and if you ever notice, as you converse with them, they always get upset at the same point if you bring up a specific ideology. Doesn't make a difference how you spin it. Doesn't make a difference what way you bring it into the conversation. They either seem to get anxiety, they get mad, they start screaming, or they go through the various things because it's a trigger for them. We laughed and we joked about it last week when I did the show with Bernadette, and she made a comment that triggered me. And I always think about stuff after the fact. And I'm starting to learn that, sometimes there's nothing wrong with being triggered or having traumas. The key or the trick to it, though, is learning and understanding that you have those things and then hopefully working on them so that you could do better as you move forward. Our biggest challenge, each and every one of us, is to be better tomorrow than we were today.
Right.
So today's, like I said, thing is triggers and trauma. So it just made me smile, the fact that she brought that up just before I called in. I was like, wow, the universe is really working with me today. So like I said, I wanted to introduce that to the chat and to the listeners today. Triggers and traumas, guys, we should do a better job of understanding and listening to ourselves when we are in these moments, and then seeing what we can do to, tighten things up. For some people, it may be therapy. For some people, it may be, again, going back to the people whom you may have even had the conversation with. Hey, I apologize. I'm sorry. I know I got set off the other day. That wasn't really about you. That was really about something else. But I didn't understand it at the time. And, I probably took that on you unnecessarily. Friendships, relationships, business relationships, all these kinds of things go up in smoke sometimes. Sorry, Kwani, but it just came out that way. I didn't mean to trigger you, hopefully. But things go up and, go away sometimes because of things like that. And because we won't say sorry, or we won't take the time to go, you know what, that was my bad. And I'm hoping that, we'll do a better job, like I said, going forward when it comes to those kinds of things.
Now, triggers and traumas. Welcome to the show, everyone. Critical Thinking, Amir Silly. God bless everybody. I hope you guys are safe out there in your travels, wherever you're going today, this morning. Thanks for listening to the show. It's weird. Wow, you're right. With the universe, talking about this after Kwani, and with Kwani, and generally speaking, with deep-rooted trauma. You talked about therapy, and I think, Amir, I think we all, and I said this last year, and I always say it, I think every one of us need a weekly therapy session with the whole country.
I think therapy is definitely
right.
important.
So my thing is this, like with Kwani and others in that same situation where the trauma is a deep-rooted trauma, and she said just now, a few minutes ago, that this is something that she lives with, good, bad, or indifferent. And she's been to therapy. And my question would be, would she go back again to therapy? But Amir, the question is, do you think that there is this deep-rooted trauma triggers and trauma. Okay, the fire triggered this deep trauma with her, right? Do you think that that trauma is so deep rooted that it's part of the person's identity moving forward for all time?
Well, wow, that's a great question, Shawn. To be honest with you, I think that is probably a case by case situation. We live in a world where there are some of us who, we obviously have different coping mechanisms when it comes to dealing with trauma. Some people utilize drugs and things of that magnitude. Some people bury things very deep within their psyche. And I think that it just really depends on the individual, and I guess it depends on what things you have around you to help you cope. So if you have a strong enough team, meaning you got people around you who care enough, they really see and understand some of the things that you may be, some of your challenges, what you may be faced with. Everything from simple phone calls every day to check in on you to see how you're doing, to encouraging you to possibly get some professional help, seek counseling, and things of that magnitude all help. But I think at the very core of anything, we come back to what most of us struggle with the most, which is ourselves. I always say this, you got the person that stares back at you from the mirror is the one person you shouldn't lie to. We all tend to, give people different versions of ourselves in conversation and in face-to-face moments. But when you're alone, or when you're in the morning, when you get up and you go in the bathroom, you do brushing your teeth and everything, and you look in the mirror, that's the one person that you really got to be honest with. Everybody else you can kind of lie to or fudge things, that's fine. But that person, they hang out with you all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if and when you start lying to that person, that's where things get scary or tricky, because that person is who controls everything. It's not me. It's not you. It's, not your friends, your family, and all that kind of stuff. It's you. So if you can't be honest with yourself, then how do you ever really expect to fix anything?
Mm-hmm.
And that's really where the challenge lies for each and every one of us, myself included. Right. So it just behooves all of us to think about that ideology and really see and think about the things that you can do to try to fix that and or to make it work for yourself. So I think, to answer your question again, it's just a matter of talking about or thinking about that specific individual. And as friends, as family members and things like that, do yourself a favor. Take a look at their patterns. And usually if you look at somebody's patterns, then you can sort of understand and or ascertain what may or may not work in terms of being able to help that individual. Because some of us, there's no helping. I know we'd like to believe that, whatever. And I'm not saying that there's no helping, meaning there's never any help. What I'm saying is sometimes if you watch patterns, you'll notice that this is who they are. And that's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just a reality thing. So sometimes we have to be honest with ourselves about things and stuff that we see in people, friends and family, and not take it personal, because it's not something that you've done. That's something that they're dealing with. That's the challenge that they have.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, my good friend. And back to, that's why when back to the Kwani thing, and it goes back to Kwani's situation, and which you're talking about, which like this go hand in hand with each other. She experienced this trauma. It's a part of her life, and what you're saying is definitely correct on talking to people. And I appreciate a young lady like her, or when folks do call in and share and be transparent, because she didn't have to do that. So this woman and others, and all of us, if we talk about what we're going through, even with this trauma that was triggered by, whatever situation was, we need to constantly talk about this. Right. So my question is, like especially with Kwani Kwan, like, was the other people in the fire, were they impacted like her? You know what I mean? So, or was it, Kwani, was it just you that was impacted by this? Or was there other people in the house trauma bond by this fire and have to live with this every day? So, Amir, if something triggered a person and have this deep trauma, and it triggered somebody else. Say two people were dealing with this. How do two people that experience this trauma, how do they relate to each other? Is this something that's a common bond with them for the rest of their
She
lives?
said her mother also.
You know, it's funny that you say that, Sean. I think it is something that becomes a bit of a common bond. Meaning, again, especially if you experience the same trauma at the same time. But again, the interesting thing about even that concept is the idea that even though, for instance, Sean, you and I, we could have, gotten stuck up. Let's say it was, back in the 70s or early 80s. And I mean, you run the streets and somebody sticks us up. For me, it could have been traumatizing to the point that maybe I don't want to go back outside. Maybe I don't, really want to do things where you and I run up to Fordham Road or run over to 3rd Avenue. But for you, it could have triggered something in you that goes, I'm never going to be a victim like that again. And next time something like that happens, I've decided to take karate, or, I've decided to, do something where I feel as though I won't ever be a victim again. So again, the interesting thing about all traumas is the way that the specific person reacts to whatever the trauma is. And, again, I just encourage everybody who is experiencing any kind of trauma. I don't care if it seems to be a big thing or a small thing. First and foremost, recognize it, meaning go through your mind. And like I said, think about moments where either, again, you're conversing in a space or something happens and you get set off, and realize that that's something that probably you need to, really address and or work on, so that this way it doesn't become something that paralyzes you. Because for some of us, traumas can become paralyzing. And obviously, if it's a situation that paralyzes you, that's not good, because you may encounter that again and again and again. Yeah. At which point, then you're always a victim versus being ready and or capable of handling the situation.
Let me ask this, Kwani. I'll call you back, Kwani, because we're doing this segment. I don't want to interrupt Amir's segment. I'll call you when we're done. Now let's flip this real quick. Let's flip this. Everybody turned up Tuesday. Shawn Harvey Morning Show. Wake up, Team Barbi Cologne's the only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Please download that Comedy World Network app. Let me ask you this question. Let's flip this trauma, triggers and trauma, on the individual that has to live with this person, work with this person. So if, for example, Kwani or just anyone in that situation, how would we, Amir Sealy, with this person sharing this information, hey, I'm in this trauma situation, this was happening to me, this is part of my life, how do the person that's dealing with them deal with the trauma and the suffering of this person, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent? Because we need that information too, because a lot of people don't want to deal. It's cute in the beginning, Barbi. Right. It's cute, like, oh, I'm here for you. But then after a while, it's like, I can't deal with this no more.
Right, till time passes, right.
Amir, how does a person deal with someone with triggers and trauma, in your opinion?
Okay, so, again, this is, just reiterating something that I said a little bit earlier, first and foremost, about watching patterns. Excuse me. The reason why I said watching patterns is such an important part, excuse me, of the process is because I tend to believe that once you recognize a person's patterns, then you hopefully should not be triggered by the things that they do. And I'll just give a quick example. So when we were young, me and my boys, Sean alludes to this all the time, but we were big Bentley's fans back in the day. And me and some of my boys, every Saturday night, I think it was our Bentley's night. So we work all week, and Saturday night was Bentley's, and all of us had jobs, and everybody would always, be prepared to get dressed up, head down to Bentley's. We had one of my boys who always would seem to not tell us that he didn't have resources just as we get to the club. And one day I lost it. Y'all, just like y'all saw me, Sean said he saw me the other day, I lost it. And he was older than me. He was part of our crew, but I was always the voice of reason even as a kid. So We get down there and we get to the door and he's like, yo, I don't got it. It's anybody got me? And I flipped. I said, look, man, I'm sick and tired of every week you come down here, tell everybody you don't have it, this, that, the third, man. You taking the train back home by yourself. I don't give a damn. If you get robbed, whatever, that's on you.
Right.
If you do this to us every week, you should tell us this before we leave the block. This way cats could, figure out if we feel like,
we can prepare.
taking care of you.
Right.
Exactly. So the funny thing is, my team had never saw me upset. So they was like, oh, you upset Amir, dog. There's no coming back from that. Amir doesn't get upset. But I after we, recognized that was a pattern with him, I stopped getting upset because I realized that that's who he was. And I share that with you, Shawn, in reference to your question, because as an individual who deals with somebody who has triggers and traumas, you have to then say to yourself, is this something that I want to deal with on a constant basis? And is this something that I want to definitively help this person work through? One of the real questions that we all, I'm sure, deal with or struggle with every day is our own happiness. Right. And your own happiness really consists of you doing things and being a part of things that just make you happy. The people and the world label that as selfish, but it really isn't, because in all fairness, that's what your job is to continuously put yourself in a space and a place where you're happy. Sometimes people, places, and things contribute to that, but ultimately, that's only you who knows how to make yourself happy. Not your significant other, not your kids, not the world, only you, because you know the things that make you smile. You know the things that make you feel great. You know the things that put you in spaces and places that allow you to go through your day and feel wonderful. Nobody else knows that because they're not in your mind. They're not in your brain.
Right.
But we tend to, as a broader community, put that on others. So we run around, it's because of you I'm upset. No, it's not because of them you're upset. It's because of you that you're upset, because you won't be honest with yourself about dealing with their foolishness and it upsetting your happiness. So we got to, figure that part of the equation out. Now, after you figure that part of the equation out, hopefully, this goes back to traumas and triggers, you can have a real open and honest conversation with a child, your significant other, whomever, and say, hey, based off of what you're going through and based off of what I'm willing to deal with, this is how we could probably work this out. Right. And that's a tricky and a slippery slope to be, on, again, based on the fact that you're talking to somebody who got traumas and triggers.
Right. So again, like, if you turned up Tuesday, thanks guys for tuning in. We appreciate you. This is the Critical Thinking segment. We're going to give Amir the last word. Let's clap for him. Jesus Christ. Got me thinking. And you're right, like, to deal with someone, and I don't want to keep bringing up Kwani's name, with someone like, that's dealing with this. Listen, I've been in 78 relationships. 57 women have thrown me out. 2 divorces, married twice. I'm 1 divorce, married twice. I'm not a relationship expert like that. Yeah. But when you have to practice some type of patience and some love and some understanding with dealing with someone who's been triggered and with trauma, you can't be selfish. And I mean, if you want to commit to this particular person, you have to be open-minded enough to go along with this journey in a productive way, right, with this person's trauma bond. Yeah, if they're traumatized, I'm just saying. Yeah, but at the same time, that's what I'm hearing from. I'm just what I'm hearing from Amir right now.
Yeah, but I know that. But at the same time, they need to be actively working towards getting past that part of their life. You can't expect nobody to just sit there and deal with your triggers and traumas all the time. And if you're not actively seeking therapy or getting counseling, you need to deal with it, because if not, you'll stay there. You will be stagnant in that place in your life.
Right. So Amir, we're gonna give you the last. Let's clap. Jesus Christ. Amir, you got the last word, brother. I'm gonna take a break because I got to go to the bathroom. Pause.
Okay. Right. First and foremost, always, man, I thank you guys for having me on the show. I just, like I said, the blessing is that Kwani called in just before I did, so she kind of set the stage. So thank you, Kwani. And I just want to say to everybody, as always, look, our greatest enemy probably is ourselves.
Mm.
I know we don't think that that's what it is, but it is, because as I stated a little earlier, the person who stares back at you from the mirror is who you hang out with the most. So make sure that person is happy. Make sure that person is always at the greatest level that they could be in terms of sharing and giving love and being in the greatest state of energy and spirits that they could be in. And I think the rest of this will kind of go as smooth as possible for you, as long as you know that you're taking care of your number one fan, and that's yourself.
That's yourself.
So it's Critical Thinking Tuesdays. I thank y'all. Look forward to listening to the rest of the show. And as always, chiming in when I can, if and when I can. So I love you guys both, and thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank
we'll
you,
be right
Amir.
back. Morning Drive.
Big shout to my son, Big Homie Hill. I see you.
Bringing heat to the street and doing it strong.
Smacking you in the face with the classics. It's DJ Young and Nut.
All right, good morning. It's 1 minute after the hour. Welcome back, Shawn Harvey Morning Show Wake Up Team. That's with Barbi Cologne, only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Barbi, what's going on with the weather?
Good morning, everyone. In Bethlehem right now, the weather it is 48 degrees. The high today is going to be 57 and cloudy. In New York City, 46 degrees, 58 for the high
Good
and
morning.
cloudy as
Hold
well.
on. Go ahead, Barbi.
That's the weather I have for you all. What's it looking like where you are? Barbi Cologne coming to you live from the Shawn Harvey Morning Show. And today's weather was sponsored by Comedy World Network Radio. Y'all make sure y'all download that app so y'all can keep the stories go.
All right. Remember, very important, just because you hear Barbi say it, please, I need y'all to do it. Download these apps, because if it goes offline, we're not going offline. So
we still be
please, I'm
going.
not, because I'm trying my best to keep it running. There's a lot of technical things over here, and there's nobody over here. So Roman, I don't know where Roman is. So guys, if it goes down, just go pause. just go to these apps because I'm getting to a point where I can't stop it. Now, we're gonna shout out the one. We're gonna show you some love. Kwani, you still there?
Yes,
Everybody,
here.
come on. She's back on the phone. Kwani to the break of dawn every time. Kwani.
I just wanted to answer some of the questions that you was kind of throwing out. I think I got disconnected last time.
Okay.
Like the triggers, like Amir said, is really deep. Like I don't go outside on 4th of July because it scares me. Right. It triggered down to not my son because I guess boys would be boys, so he went out and adventure, but I have an 11-year-old and a 28-year-old. My 11-year-old daughter, she started to see the fear that I was having, and she was scared of fireworks until I started pushing her to go out with my son, and now she's not fearful anymore. As far as you having a significant other in a relationship, my husband, he was looking at me like I was crazy in the beginning. I don't do grills. I don't do cookout. I don't stand next to cookout grills. I always want to exit to be by exit. I end up getting 2 grills because I had a gas grill and I saw you got to do all this turning. You got to get gas. I don't deal with none of that. I went and got a charcoal grill because I automatically keep water next to a grill. And like I understand what Barbi is saying, that you have to seek therapy and get this taken care of, but it's little things that trigger. I don't care how much you go to therapy and you talk about it. Something as simple as the 4th of July, when everybody is enjoying themselves, it triggers. The therapist is not there with you. They could explain to you, well, you got to do this and do that, but it's never going to go away. Never. If you can't do a simple cookout and scared of gas grills because it can catch on fire. When I go to Jersey on the weekend, I have my father. He was just diagnosed with cancer, and I'm the only child. I go up to Bayonne, New Jersey almost every weekend and take him to do whatever he needs to take care of. I cook 3 meals for my husband and my son. That means don't cook on the stove. Everything is microwave, because it's just something that comes back to me that they could fall asleep. I could come back to no house. Anything can happen. So this trigger and this fear is never going to go away. I don't care how old I am. I don't care where I'm at. It's never going to go away.
Well, I respect your acceptance level with what you've gone through. But I also give you the most credit to Kwani to break it down, for taking this trauma and almost passing it down like a generational thing. Passing it down to your daughter and putting the brakes on that, and you yield that and put that work in, so your daughter moved on without having this trauma that you're going through. I applaud you for that, because you and folks like you and all us others, we could be lazy. I use the word lazy and just take this trauma and just transfer it to the next. That transfer it to the next person. So I commend you for putting in that work, for stopping this trauma to invade to the next generation.
Thank you.
Let's clap for that. Because because really, it's real. It triggers and trauma. It's real. Some folks just take take this trauma and just transfer it to the next person. Yeah. It goes like say with abuse. It's the same thing. There's an abusive parent, and then the child is abusive, and I commend you for that.
Thank you. I've been in Easton over 20 years, and I've never been to the bonfire until 2 years ago, and that's because my daughter wanted to go. And it took everything in me to take her, because it's a beautiful thing to watch the bonfire. But then I'm thinking, what if another branch get too close to that bonfire, and then it make it spread all over? Like, I'm thinking like that. But I had to show face for her, because 4th of July is very beautiful. It shouldn't be a scary event. And, with my kids being so far apart, she would have turned into me if I didn't, push her out and let her go with my son and just had to trust my son to protect my daughter. And now she likes to play with fireworks. And don't get me wrong, every 4th of July, I'm worried. I got the tracker on her. I got the GPS on them.
Right.
I'm calling. Did she touch the fire stick? Or he sent me videos of her holding a Roman candle. And she's only 11. So I'm nervous at that because it could backfire on her hand. But he protects her. But I'm like, I can't let her have the fear that I have, because one day I might need her to protect me when she get older. I'm still around.
Yeah.
So I try my hardest with her, to protect her by any means. And then, when you ask the question, did it affect anybody else in the household? It affected my mother badly. My father had left to go to the service after that. And my mother, you can tell that she was nervous about any little thing because she kept us so close and dear to her that we couldn't really do anything or learn how to cook on our own. She always had to cook for us, even at the teenage years, because she didn't want us touching the stove. My daughter, she don't touch the stove. I have a microwave above my stove. I went and bought another microwave just to put on the counter just for her to use, because I'm fearful that her shirt might touch the knobs and it comes on. But she needs the independency to learn how to cook for herself, because she's almost 12. But, when you have these traumas, if you are, you know your traumas and your fears, you have to find a way to work around them where you can still teach your kids to be independent, but also still have your fears, because they're never going to go away. Well, my husband, he after all these years, I never burnt the house down, but I saw you light the gas grill and I saw blue fire. That was it for me. I'm done. I just knew his eyebrows and hair was done. Yeah. So once I saw that, it was a wrap for gas grills. I got a charcoal, because I will throw water all over the food, whatever it takes. Right. To get that fire down. Right. And I'm constantly sitting there watching it. And he I'm going in the house and watch the game. But my nervousness won't let me stop watching that fire. Right. And it's never going to go away. Right. But I can't show my daughter that I act like I ain't scared. But deep down inside, I'll be like, please don't let this fire go past these burgers, because I'm going to throw water all over it, and we just ain't got no food. We're going to eat something else. Right. You going back to the Flintstone days. I'm not mad at you, but it's a selfless act, and I applaud you for that. And first of all, thanks for being so transparent on the shows where you get your morning start right. This is how we get down. And I appreciate you for sharing this. Let's clap for Kwani, because she didn't have to share this. Thank you. And I appreciate you. And I want to thank everyone in the chat room for, giving love and information and love and admiration, and just for all of us to be here with each other to get through these situations. So Kwani, we're here with you. Right. You understand? Now I know, and I come over to the crib, don't, just have a gallon of water on me and whatever.
I cook. You go sit down, girl.
And go on the other side of the room.
Right.
And I get it. And again, I really do applaud you for being open-minded enough not to transfer that trauma onto the next generation. Yeah. So I give you the utmost respect for that, Kwani.
Thank you.
All right, Kwani, go on and heat up your Hot Pocket.
Yeah,
her hot pocket game got to be crazy. She's always in the back.
The microwave game.
Her microwave game crazy.
Gotta be superb, baby. She cooks a whole meals in the microwave.
What I'm saying?
Okay, Kwani.
She got the Frigidaire 3000.
Yes.
Her microwave cost $700.
Okay, she got that doo-doo.
Her microwave got a fire extinguisher on it. All right, Kwani, we gotta go.
Self-extinguisher microwave.
Guys.
All right,
Kwani.
God bless. Yo, Kwani got a Dalmatian in the house. Kwani got a scruffy in there.
Yeah, let him know. Hey,
the fire dog.
Hey,
with the helmet on. Okay, 13 minutes after the hour. Welcome back, Shawn Harvey Morning Show. Wake up, Teen. It's Barbi Cologne, where you get your morning started right. Put a number 1 chat room if you're enjoying the show this morning. Put a number 2 if you're not. Also, I'm going to put you guys some work. Let's put the hearts in the chat room. We're going to show you some love. But let's give Kwani Kwan some hearts as well. Let's clap, man. Let's give Kwani Kwan some hearts. Number 1 chat room, you're enjoying the show. Number 2, you're not. Double hearts. We're going to put the hearts in the chat room. We're going to shout y'all out. And also, let's give Kwani Kwan some hearts as well. God bless her. And also, thank you so much, Amir Silly. Critical thinking, hit a home run again. We truly appreciate you. Put the hearts in the chat room now if y'all don't mind, because we want to show y'all some love, because without you guys, we wouldn't be here. So thank you so much. Let's go. Where the hearts at? In the chat room. Hey, where the hearts at? In the chat room. Hey, where the hearts at? In the chat room. Hey, where the hearts at? In the chat room. Hey, where the hearts at? In the chat room. Hey, where the hearts at? In the chat room. Hey, where the hearts at? Barbi, let's go.
Turn down for what?
Hey, where the hearts at? Where the hearts at? Or where the hearts come on?
Turn down for what?
Hey, where the hearts at? Where the hearts at? Or where the hearts come on?
Turn down for what?
Hey, where the hearts at? Where the hearts at? Or where the hearts come on?
Turn down for what?
For what? For what? For what?
For what?
For what?
For what?
For what? Hey. One more time, Barbi. Let's show them some love. Where the hearts at? In the chat room. Hey, where the hearts at? In the chat room. Hey, where the hearts at? In the chat room. Hey, where the hearts at? In the chat room. Hey, where the hearts at? In the chat room. Hey, where the hearts at? In the chat room. Hey, where the hearts at? Barbi, let's go.
Turn down for what?
Hey, where the hearts at? Where the hearts at? Or where the hearts come on?
Turn down for what?
Hey, where the hearts at? Where the hearts at? Or where the hearts come on?
Turn down for what?
Hey, where the hearts at?
Where the hearts at?
Or where the hearts come on?
Turn down for what?
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 For what? Hey.
Hey.
All right.
Shout out to Lakeisha B in the building. What's up, Lakeisha?
What's going on? That's the homie.
Right. Kwani Kwan in the building, because you're the chat room
Member of the week. Hey, because you're the chat room member of the week. Jam on. I'm Kwani Kwan till the break of dawn.
Shout out to Randy Montgomery. Hey, Randy.
Randy, I got some free passes for you, Randy.
Ooh.
There you go.
I want some free passes.
You sure? You didn't know. You don't know what the free passes are for.
Shout out to W.M. Dixon. Hey, cousin. Good morning.
What's up, brother? Where did you grow up at? What's the address? What's going on? Talk to me.
He did put it in there. He started somewhere. Kathy Garrison is here. Hey, Kathy. Good morning to you.
Kathy, what's that address?
Shout out to a Younger Nut. Good morning, Younger Nut. Good morning.
Younger Nut, do you remember your childhood address? Where was it? And you know what? People in the chat room, if your current address is your childhood address, it might be a problem. Continue.
Why, sure?
Unless I'm not judging. I'm just saying, unless it's some kind of mansion, whatever. Like, say if you still like in 5F.
I know people who still live in the same place that they live.
Where they grow up?
I'm like, you still in here?
I don't know.
I just say, but you still in here?
I mean, I get it with the rent control. I understand that. It probably doesn't make sense anyway, but I'm just saying, like, it's kind of weird. Like,
because they still paying
like
$300 a month for a four-bedroom apartment.
Not only that, like, everybody died. Like, mom and dad, grandma, they all dead. They all lived there. Like, right. I could say if it's a big property, big house is one thing, but if you're in that tenement building for 40 years, might be a problem. Go ahead.
Yeah. Shout out to LaShawn Oliver. Hey, bestie boo. Good morning.
He said Dwayne Street in Brooklyn.
Dwayne Street in Brooklyn.
That's what Young and us said.
All right now.
All right. Put those addresses in.
Shout out to Audrey A. Johnson. Hey, Audrey. Good morning. LaShawn Haynes Jones is here.
Of course, Natalie, I'm wrong for that one. Always wrong. Go ahead.
Shout out to Marcus, Mr. One Emoji Johnson. Good morning, Marcus.
Let's show Kwani some love in the chat room, y'all. Go ahead.
That's right. Shout out to Prentice Cox. Good morning, Mr. Robinson.
There you go.
Hey,
Mr. Robinson Day Friday. Still get your shirts. The shirts is on sale. I appreciate the folks who purchased the shirt. Get your shirts. Wear them on Friday. Put them in the group room. You win a prize. Go ahead.
Ooh. Shout out to Nicole Harris. Good morning, Nicole.
Nicole, what was that? Remember that childhood address?
Yep.
What's going on?
Natalie Wright is here. What's up, Natalie? Hey, girl.
Even if your current address is around the corner from your childhood
sure.
address. Might be a problem there too.
At
Go
least
ahead.
they moved.
If you still going to the same bodega for 40 years when Mr. Pete owned it and now Pete Jr. owned it, might be a problem. Go ahead.
Yes, young enough. He's in the chat room today. He said, "Hold up, Shawn in the chat room."
I'm in the
Yeah,
chat
he
room.
peeked it a little bit today.
I did. Oh yeah, I'm in the chat room.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I can see it today.
Well, that's what he talked about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm in the chat room. I'm watching y'all there.
Yeah. Shout out to the Godfather, Solar Tracy Ray. What's up, Tracy? Good morning to you.
If you lived there, if your current address is across the street from your childhood address, literally across the street, it might be a problem. Okay.
Sonia Mary is here. Hey, Sonia. Good morning. Denise.
If you move back to your childhood address from your current address, there might be a problem as well. Okay.
Denise Dimitrov is in the building. What's up, Denise? Good morning.
Denise, what's that address?
Dara Jackson is here. Hey, Dara. Good morning to you. Shout out to Amira Sealy. Thank you for calling with your critical thinking, triggers and traumas. Yes.
We appreciate you, bro.
Right. Vanetta George is in the building. What's up, Vanetta? Good morning.
God bless.
DeVern Mathis just popped in. Good morning, DeVern.
Vern, what's going on?
Shout out to D-Lo. Hey, D-Lo. Good morning.
DeVern, where you been? Go ahead.
Diane Hall. We said Diane Hall is in the building.
Gotta say it twice.
Right. That's right. Got to say it twice.
All right.
Bridget Richardson is here. Hey, Bridget. Good morning to you.
If your current address is your childhood address on the show, please call in 570-982-6950. If your childhood address is your current address.
Shout out to Shout out to Tiffany Klosick. Hey, Tiffany. Good morning. How are you this morning?
Marlene Brown says Anthony Anderson Avenue in the Bronx. That was the hood. Go ahead.
That was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Amir said Valentine's Avenue. She says Anderson Avenue, Home Street, where I
All
grew
that
up.
was
All that's hood. All of it. All of it is hood.
Shaheed Johnson is here. Good morning, Shaheed.
Shaheed, what's that childhood address, brother?
Marlene Shields is in the building. What's up, Marlene? Good morning.
What's that address? Again, it started with trauma. Sometimes it's a simple question, complicated answer.
Shout out to Shamika Love is here. Hey, girl. Good morning.
The Godfather Solo. What's that at? Where? I'm in the chat room today. I'm watching y'all. Go ahead.
Lee Scott is here. What's up, Lee? Good morning to you. Shout out to Nicole Harris. Hey, Nicole.
Dara said 320 Manhattan Avenue. That was a hood. There's no parking over there. Manhattan Avenue. If I can remember.
B Love is in the building. What's up, Bernadette? Good morning to you.
Bernadette and the house segments tomorrow at 7:35.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Shout out to Danielle Williams. Hey, Danielle. Good morning. Princess Cox says, Shawn, did you just call it Anthony Anderson Avenue?
I might have did. Who else? Did Vanetta and them put it in the chat room?
Vanetta did put something in there. Vanetta, but
What
it was
about
it's
who
way
else?
up. Shamika Love said 194 Hart Street between Thorpe and Tompkins.
That's in Brooklyn?
Uh-huh.
Sounds like a hood.
Then she put the whole zip code and everything.
All right,
Dang,
calm
Shamika.
down. They might do an internet search on
Right,
it.
right. Derek Evans, 156 East Street.
And what's that?
Where is that? Bernard B. Love said 170-42 118th 118th Ave.
A dash in it?
Yeah. Derek
the
Evans had Longwood Avenue.
Derek Longwood, bro. We
Yeah.
neighbors. That was a hood too. That was right up the block from where my mother currently stays over there on Innerville. LaShawn Haynes Jones put what's that? 1230
Webster
Avenue. That's the hood. That was a lot of
Everybody
smoke.
From New York right now is in the chat room.
That's right.
Right.
Because we
It's
rap.
just
We
New
rap.
York
There ain't no
addresses.
Newark in there. We don't play that.
It's all
You guys
right.
are outnumbered. Go ahead. Who else?
It's okay. Shout out to Marita Chocolate Thunder Simmons. Hey, Marita. Good morning to you.
The one common denominator, 99% of us grew up in the hood.
Right. Exactly. But whether it's New York or New Jersey,
Yeah, that's-
it was the hood. Right.
Damn our parents.
Right. Ching Ching Pride just popped in.
Ching,
What's up,
I
Ching
know what Ching was some Soundview in the hood.
Uh-huh. Shamika Love said 500 East 171st Street in the Bronx.
That's a hood.
I'm sorry,
Anything
BX,
east?
the BX.
Yeah, the BX.
Yeah.
Who's that from the BX?
Shamika Love.
Oh, she's from the Bronx. I didn't know that. She's from the Bronx. She's from the X.
Right, Kwani, Jersey City, hood all day. North
Yeah,
hood
of
all
course.
day. Right. Diane Hall said 427 East 102nd Street.
That's the hood.
Yeah,
That's
I grew up in the hood
that's
too.
the hood. That's the hood. She grew up. That's then all the Latinos are there now. Not a lot of black folks.
Those are all the names that I have seen in the chat room. Oh, Frank Clyburn. Hey, cousin. Good morning. Those are the names that I've seen today. If you want to get your name shouted out, come on in the chat room and say hello.
None of us have. There's no address in there saying the income's like 200,000. All right, guys. I tell you what. We're gonna come back real quick. We're gonna do a front page news. Barbi Cologne. We'll be right back.
What if the skin was the proof? There's some hard things you'll go through, and the game is rigged to make sure you prove what you say is true. Maybe it's 'cause you're blind, maybe it's 'cause of that, maybe it's 'cause the power in you seems to threaten that. Maybe it's 'cause you're blind, they want you trapped, they want you living in a world where you feel less, like you're less than them. Yeah, like you're less than them.
24 minutes after the hour. Welcome back, Shawn Harvey Morning Show. Wake Up Team with Barbi Cologne, only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Download that 108 Soul at Mel Star this evening, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Don't forget, we have a Sunday Night Laughs. That's April the 3rd at the Iron Mill, 831 South Delaware Drive, Eastern Pennsylvania. Doors open up at 5 p.m. Showtime 6. HBO, Def Jam, BET's Comic View. Also, Joe Claire being in the building.
Claire
Joe
gonna be
is
in the
hilarious. Come on
building.
now, that ticket is moving. Birthday parties are coming through. So please, Sundays are the new Saturday night. Sunday Night Laugh at the Iron Mill, 831 South Delaware Drive, Eastern Pennsylvania, with this super hilarious Joe Claire. My homegirl Stephanie K is in the building. Hot Sauce will be playing music hosted by your boy Shawn Harvey. So let's come on out. Let's have a good time. I'll tell you what, we're gonna do a few stories and we'll take another break and then we'll come back. Barbi, what you got?
Our beloved Maury.
Oh, whoa, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Wait. Lee Scott, my beloved nephew. What'd he put? He put 2330 Jackson Street. But was that in the hood, bro? What town was that? And was it in the hood? Because the common denominator right now is 99.9% of us were born in the hood. And we were all proud of that.
Yeah.
Jackson Street, Lee, is that in the hood, bro? I mean the hood, bro. Go ahead, Barbi.
Maury Perfect. The Maury Povich show is being canceled after more than 30 years, guys. You Are Not the Daddy is going to be ending. Yeah. Maury will be ending after 31 seasons. The popular daytime talk show comes to an end with the 2021-2022 season. Reps for the Universal has confirmed to CNN 6 years ago when I was ready to retire. My NBC Universal family asked me to continue the show. The host Maury said in a statement, even though I told them I was ready for an assisted living, out of loyalty to Universal and my more than 100,000 staff crew members, Tracy Wilson and I agreed to one more deal. I'm so proud of my relationship with NBC Universal and all those who work with the Maury show. But as I occasionally tell my guests on the show, enough already. The show, well known for its paternity test and guests with scandalous secrets, is in its 24th season with NBC Universal. Povich is the longest running daytime talk show host in TV history. Maury and I have decided 2 years ago that the season would be the farewell season for the show, and while his retirement is bittersweet, we are also happy for him to be able to spend more time on the golf course and with his family. That was a statement from the vice president of NBC Universal Studios.
How old is he?
Maury is, let's see if it's in here. Let's Google it. Let's say, hold on.
And how much is he worth? Now, here we go. Now, when the Maury Povich show hit these streets 1,000 years ago, much respect for him. I think a lot of us was caught up in the whole movement in the beginning with Maury.
He is 83 years old.
Damn, he's 83 years old. He's old as hell.
He is old.
Like they had to drag him in there every morning. Like, give him a break. The man is 83 years old.
He wanted to retire years ago. They wouldn't let him.
They wouldn't let him because, who's the father?
Bringing too much money in, baby.
Now, how much is he worth before?
Let's see right now.
Now, here we go with Maury. Maury Povich, you are, I'm sad to say, but you are an African American hero.
$80 million.
He's worth $80 million. He's
From a talk
83.
show host. I hear that.
He's 83 and he's worth $80 million. Now, Maury, I am so not mad at you, bro. You infiltrated the minority culture, the black culture, with the Who's the Daddy and the drama.
Mm-hmm.
And you filled that void of drama in the morning for us black folks and Latinos and white folks too. Now, there was a certain demographic of folks that watched the Maury show. That's understandable. I fell victim to it from years back in the day when it started. Now, we didn't pay it. I guess as you get older, you don't pay it no more. I think that's more for the younger folks and those hardcore fans. I salute you, bro. You made a fortune off of black folks. You made a fortune off of Latinos. You made a fortune off of the weird folks. You made a fortune with the antics, and you really made your fortune with Who's the Daddy and Who's the Mother, and how folks reacted when they walked out. And your show was sort of like the main show that offspringed all these other shows. So we salute you, brother. Are you an honorary black man? I say yes, because you left the white culture, at least for television. Maybe after work, you went back to your Babylonian friends. I'm not mad at you for that. But when it was time to return back to your Babylonian workplace, you refused. You said, I'm going to neighbor this thing up. And I'm going to bring every neighbor that I could find on this show. And I'm going to fly them in. And not only that, some of these neighbors, I'm going to develop a storyline. Because some of these neighbors didn't know who the father was. So what did that do for us? We kept tuning in because you hooked us.
Maury was the ultimate messy. Between him and Jerry Springer, I don't know who was the worst.
And we sat there, and some of us in our shameful glee watched it. And if you in that chat room right now, I never watched Maury Povich, you a goddamn lie.
No Prentice, no more paternity tests.
Well, now you could go to paternity court for that. And I think shows like that have offspring off of Maury.
Yeah. Somebody got to take over the reins.
And Maury, I salute you. I hope that and pray that you have some African Americans on your staff that was part of this successful run of 31 years where people can retire and have pensions. I hope there's some black folks on there, because the minority made you rich. And as the longest running show on earth, as far as the tech, I propose, before we go into our next story, give that job to Nick Cannon. Or did we run out of baby mothers? Is it slow because of COVID? Who's the daddy? Who's the daddy? You're not the father.
You are not the father.
You are the father. How many times we saw that?
You are not the fathers on the show. Than it was, you are the fathers.
You are not the father.
Yeah, when you got girls going out there 13, 14 times and they still ain't the father. But dang, chick, how many men you sleep with within that little couple? I made the period to get pregnant from time to time. It's slim to none. Like, girl, how loose was you?
And and I agree with you, Barbie Cologne. I agree with you, Barbie Cologne. But we kept watching.
I sure did. I was young too, in my 20s, watching Maury.
And put a number one chat room if you was caught up in the Maury movement at any point of this 31 years of him being on TV. Give me a number one. I was caught up a little bit every now and then. I was caught up with
him
that.
And Jerry, and watching the fights on Jerry.
Yeah. Is Jerry still on?
I don't know. Steve took over Jerry for a minute.
See if Jerry's on.
No, I think he got a judge show now.
All right, let's see if Jerry's and see if he's still alive. So put number one in the chat room if you was caught up in the Maury. Put a number two if you wasn't. I'm trying to find some Maury here. And God bless him. And I hope that you employ some black folks and some minority folks, because that's where you got your money, because your regular Babylonians wasn't dealing with none of this trash. We did.
No, Jerry Springer. The actual Jerry Springer show was canceled a couple years ago after 28 seasons, and then he had Judge Jerry. Right, he was the judge, and that was canceled. This year is going to end his last season, like this month.
That's how I know I'm not the Lila.
I said this to this chick one time, Barbi Cologne. I was slaying this chick on Fox Street in the Bronx.
Nothing but a low down,
She was pregnant.
dirty sperm steal. That's right, a true semen demon. She took
Put a number one
advantage
chat
of
room
me
if you're a semen
when
demon.
I was asleep. I did not. I repeat, did not willingly sleep with her.
said he
That's how I
didn't
know
willingly sleep
I'm
with
not the father. This
Wow.
chick keeps running around town stealing sperm so her and her lesbian girlfriend can have a baby. She is sick and twisted, and I'm tired of being called.
Not sick and twisted.
Well, Barbi, you haven't stole sperm in a minute.
I ain't gotta steal it, baby. Oh yes, you are. No, I gotta
all
steal
of her
it.
game. Listen up, you sperm stealing scam artist. When the results prove I'm not the father, you can right up your and you better think twice about
shove it
stealing
up
another
your-
man's sperm.
What's the next story?
Sperm stealer.
Oh, and
I don't know how
Jerry
you
is
steal
worth
someone's
$60
sperm
million.
Hold on. Put a number one chat room, ladies, if you're a sperm stealer. Barbi, have you ever stole sperm before?
I have never stolen sperm.
You
He's
maybe you
denying
want
the
to try it.
baby. So
No,
if,
thank
if
you.
I,
basically
I don't
said
want
you
to steal
raped him.
sperm.
if I stole your sperm,
help create children,
why,
and I don't
why
want
are you
to
denying the
those.
baby?
Right.
Like, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Drew, come on out.
They booing Drew.
Of course. Boo, Drew.
What else you got?
The drawbridge operator arrested. A drawbridge operator arrested in the death of a woman who fell when it opened. The worker who
I'll
was
put that back on at the end of the show, guys. Go ahead.
the worker who was operating a drawbridge in Florida has been charged with the following death of the woman who fell to her death when the bridge was raised. A 79-year-old woman was walking.
Hold on, boy. You never snatched no sperm, man? Barbi, ever?
Start. We talking about the daggone lady who died when the drawbridge opened and she fell to
Hold
her
on, we're gonna
death.
get to that.
Okay.
Barbi, have you
We ain't
ever?
talking- we passed the sperm, Sean.
Barbi, have you ever stolen any sperm?
I have never stolen anyone's sperm, Sean.
Have
It
you
was
ever
willingly given
have you,
to me.
Have you ever snatched? Have you ever snatched some sperm up?
I've never snatched it. I snatched souls, but not sperm.
You sure?
I don't need to steal it.
Have you physically hold the sperm in your life, Barbi Cologne? All right, hold on.
I've held it a time or
Yeah.
two in multiple places.
Is it warm, Barbi Cologne?
Very warm. You know, then it get a little colder, slimy.
Okay.
You know?
And still start that story. Ladies in the chat room, put a one in the chat room if you ever held sperm. Okay, now we got back to. Sorry.
Okay, so a 79-year-old woman was walking her bicycle across the Royal Park Bridge, which connects to Lakeview Avenue in West Palm Beach, to the island of Palm Beach when the bridge began to open. The woman, who was not identified, was about 10 feet from the end of the bridge when she fell between the gaps of the bridge and desperately tried to hold on as the bystander rushed over to help her. I think Senny had read the story a few months ago, but this is the now that they charged the operator. The bystander was unable to save the woman as she fell 5 stories to her death. The tender operator, Artusa Lafayette Polk, 43, was taken into custody and charged with 1 count of manslaughter by culpable negligence. Investigators said that Polk was not on her cell phone at the time and was not under the influence of drug or alcohol during the time of the accident. I walked out on the balcony to see a roadway for people walking, she wrote. I went back and turned my lights to red. Then I walked back out on the balcony to see all the cars had stopped and no one was on the bridge. Park said this was the statement from the lady operator. Park said that she then made a second announcement before she started to raise the bridge. After the boat passed through, she made an announcement and lowered the bridge. As the bridge was lowering, the bystander alerted her that the woman had fallen off the bridge. Lance Ivy, the lawyer for the woman's family, told the news station that they are planning to file a civil lawsuit and suggested that the evidence will prove that Park did not follow the proper safety procedures before raising the bridge. We look forward to getting the video evidence, said the attorney.
Well, hold on. You lost me a little bit. Wait. So the bridge went up.
Bridge went up.
She was walking or driving?
She was walking her bicycle.
She was walking her bicycle.
Yes.
And the bridge went up, and while the bridge was up, she was hanging on to the bridge, holding on.
Right.
But the bridge is up already.
Yeah,
pause. And she's hanging on.
Yeah.
And then she falls.
Yeah, she falls. And somebody was trying to
grab, and it was too late, and she fell.
Yeah, she couldn't grab her.
And they charged this woman.
They're charging the operator of the bridge, with culpable negligence.
Well,
manslaughter by culpable negligence.
Okay, so drop the charges.
But I don't see how.
It's no way, and like you're on a. I
need to see the video.
I mean, yeah, because if you're on a bridge and the bridge is going up and collapsing down, you got to feel that. I don't understand. And she's making all these warnings and.
Exactly.
I mean, was you high, lady? I don't know. Did they run a toxicology report on her? I don't know. It's unfortunate that this woman happened. I don't want to charge her. Yeah. Even though this woman got one job to do, that's to lift the bridge up and down.
She said she made an announcement. She looked out twice.
Yeah.
Didn't see anyone.
She didn't see anyone. Could be an accident, but charging her with something.
I don't think she should be charged. It was an accident.
Our condolences go out to the lady. You got to pay attention when you're on these bridges. What is wrong with you? Like, it's... How you go from walking on the bridge to dangling for dear life?
Right.
And boy, that last moment must have been something else.
Scary as
hell.
hell.
You was out. You knew it. You was done. What else you got?
Sure.
What happened?
Don't let that you.
That's right.
You was out.
Semen demon.
Ladies, put it in one chat room if you're a true semen demon.
I did not. I repeat. Did not willingly sleep with her.
A PA man used an Apple Watch to track his wife before shooting her and killing the man she was with. I tell you, a 38-year-old Pennsylvania man is accused of killing a 38-year-old Pennsylvania man.
You okay
facing,
this morning?
No, I don't feel too well this morning.
Oh, okay.
Facing murder charges after injuring his wife and killing another man with in what police call a domestic-related shooting at a shopping center in Berks County on Saturday, March 19th. Nehemiah Santiago Montez of York, Pennsylvania, tracked 30-year-old Jessica M. Cruz Rodriguez using an Apple Watch he had hidden in her car and waited for her in the parking lot of the Wyomissing Walmart store around 4 p.m., according to the report. Police Chief John G. Phillips. Montez noticed the SUV parked near her car, driven by Alex Omar Rodriguez Sierra, 34, of Allentown, according to the outlet and local authorities. Montez opened the door and fired multiple shots at the driver's side door. When Sierra tried to get away, Montez fired more shots at the SUV, causing him to crash into a tree. Sierra died of his injuries. When police arrived, Cruz Rodriguez was on the ground being attended to by witnesses. Police said she was taken to a Redding hospital with head injuries. She is listed in critical condition as of Saturday. Montez was arrested at the scene, and a warranted search of his vehicle later revealed that the firearm set the chief.
All right. First of all,
great.
First of all, empathy. Vanetta Joy says Shawn shows no empathy. Wait. The ambassador chat room. Wait, yeah, you mind? I just said my condolences go out to the lady who was on the bridge.
I mean, but that's just cop. Like, if you see the bridge up, like, why are you still walking across?
I just said that.
I want to see the video.
Miss Ambassador of the chat room, I'm empathetic to all of this. But it's one of those deaths where they go to your funeral and they be like, you know what happened to Shirley? It was crazy. She was on the bridge and hang out with Paula. Like, now you're in the casket and the people are talking about how you died than just you dying.
He said, you heard what happened to Shirley?
Yo, let's go over and see the body. Like,
that's a closed casket, baby.
Yeah, well, maybe. It depends on how fast they got her out the water. They probably had rescue boats right there. And then she held on, and we can't hold our own weight, but for so long,
right.
You know what I'm saying? And then she let go, and Jesus and the whole and hit that water. Oh, God.
Sure, right.
But I said that.
Poor Shirley. Damn, Shirley.
Yeah, Shirley just, she got her bike. She wasn't paying attention. She had those new iPods or pads or whatever y'all walk around with your ears.
Right.
You had stupid shades on. And, hey, I'm just saying, maybe she was defiant. Maybe the lady said, don't go. You know, we live in a polarized society. I am sympathetic
anyway,
and
what you
empathetic.
said.
But we live in a polarized society. You can't tell us nothing.
Nothing.
You can't tell us nothing. The lady said, don't go over the bridge. I'll put the bridge up. She's like, I'll do what I want. That's just what I do. I got my own rights.
She got her
And look what happened. And I said, my condolences for that. I said, my condolences.
He did say my condolences.
I did say it.
I said you did.
Thank you, Barbi.
I said he did say my condolences.
I said my condolences.
He did. Goes out to the family for Auntie Shirley.
Was it a horrible, stupid death? Yes.
Right. It was an accident.
Was there a waste of resources? Yes. And if I was the bridge people, I mean the folks with the boat,
yeah,
I want my money back.
Wait.
I want my money back.
So why you want your money back? What they got to do?
Because these boats, they got to pay the city a few dollars to lift the bridge up.
So, but why you want your money back?
Because somebody was hanging on there and they died. That has nothing to do with me.
Right.
So that's a free ride.
Ain't no free ride.
That's and that's a hazard. What if that body would have hit my boat?
Sean.
No. I want my money back for that. My condolences to her. Shirley done fell off a bridge. 6 stories. Hit that water. Black. Done. She got a double black. And they probably paid, Barbi, come just throwing it out there. They probably paid $2,000 to lift that bridge.
Not black, not a double black. God damn.
So I'm paying $2,000. I see a person dangling off the hood, off the bridge, and then they fall. I'm not responsible for that.
Right. And
that's the negligence part right there. The boat owner need that money back because when they lift these whole bridges up, you know, people got to pay for that.
It's all kinds of bells and whistles and ding dongs that go on. She probably had a hearing impairment problem, right, Princess? Because ain't no way you don't hear all of this here noise and this commotion going on while you trying to carry your ass across the bridge.
Barbi, it's the same thing when they do the train, when they put the warning lights on the train.
Exactly. You get a good quarter mile to a mile or even longer of a ding, 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 ding and tell you to stop. Like,
right.
come on.
And when these cars hit these trains and you
mean when the train hit the cars?
I mean when the train hit the car. Fortunately, if you're still alive, you need to pay that bill.
Right, because you saw the bells and the whistles and the lights flashing.
You know how much money it costs for them to clean that up? You don't slow down all the schedules. We can't get no toilet tissue back from the supermarket that's being delivered by these trains. But no,
he said,
you're so defiant.
You didn't slow everybody down.
Yeah, just slow the whole distributing line slows down because your punk ass don't want to listen.
Right, you slow me down. Here go this bull. Come on now, I'm be late.
And these trains, when we stop at the train track, we gotta wait 30 minutes for all 75 cars to go through anyway.
Right.
My condolences, young lady.
Yeah.
Now.
And he is being charged. Montez is being charged with first and third degree murder, aggravated assault, simple assault, reckless endangerment of another person, carrying a firearm without a license.
What's his name?
Montez. His name is
Montez.
Nehemiah Santiago Montez.
Nehemiah Santiago Montez. You're a complete idiot. You're stupid.
If anybody got footage of the incident, the police want you to hand it.
You're dumb. You're dumb. You are so ambitious enough to put an iPhone in the car. Boy, you studied that, you dummy.
I watched.
Whatever it was.
Right. And he
You were smart enough and clever enough to do that, but you're not smart enough and clever enough to be in tune with your own feelings of self. So you took the easy way out.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing. It's a plethora of vaginas out here. And I can prove it to you right now. There's one sitting here right next to me.
Sure.
There's available vagina. She's not feeling well, but there is available vagina right here.
Don't be trying to get my cookie box to any old body. God dang.
But what you did, sir,
just trying to get my cookie
you
box
said that this vagina was yours.
He did.
And I could do what I please.
Don't laugh, Princess.
And I'm going to sit there and shoot or kill you. When there is thousands, literally thousands of available vaginas. I know it hurts. That happened to me when she got cheated on. And I told the story. I got cheated. The young lady cheated on me with the dude within the basketball team. I was the point guard, and he was the shooting guard. The shooting guard was smashing my lady at the time, and we was in a tournament. We was going to the playoffs. Me and this dude was playing well together, and I found out that he was smashing my lady.
Did you smash him in the face with the ball?
Nah, we kept winning, and we won the championship.
Oh, I don't think I would have.
Nah, I kept playing. We was too deep in the playoffs. It was serious. But I felt like my heart was broke. I get it. But I didn't take a gun, bro.
Was that before or after your player days, your community penis time?
That was in community. Community.
You just got what you deserved. This.
Yeah, of course.
That's it.
But
but
Barbie, the feeling still was the same.
Hey, it's all right. You got payback, babe.
So what's this idiot's name again?
Nehemiah.
First of all, Nehemiah, that's a horrible name.
His name is Nehemiah. Yeah.
Stupid name. Because your parents, they wanted to name you something dope.
They thought they was
stupidest name of Nehemiah. Now look at you. Because you got caught up in your feelings. You going to put a Apple Watch.
Apple, yeah.
Boy, Apple, very clever, man. So he put the Apple Watch in the car. Right. And tractor.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's sitting there playing with somebody else's slong and you see it.
Shame.
Barbie Cologne can't identify with it right now. You lose your mind.
It's all right, showing.
It's one thing. This woman, she's shot up in the hospital, right?
Yeah,
she's shot up in the hospital, and she still had the chance to play with another slung, unlike Barbie Cologne and a few others.
Sure, I stopped telling people my business. You don't listen.
And now, sir, you're going to jail. Sir, they're going to put you in a ward where there's going to be other men that are there for domestic violence and shooting women. And that's your life.
The Godfather Solar said, Shawn, if pimping ain't easy was a person. In other words, you trying to pimp me out. That's what he's trying to show about to be.
I'm not. I just care. I don't know. I'm not trying to pimp. I'm done. I tried to pimp her out. She's done. And this is what happened, young man. You was so ambitious to catch your lady. And there's probably a backstory to this. She was probably done with you. You was probably Nehemiah. You was probably a complete freaking loser. Or she might have been a freakazoid. It doesn't matter. She doesn't deserve to be shot.
Just leave.
And then you come so incorrect. You got a gun that's not registered. You're high. You probably on fentanyl. The gun's in the car. Like you sloppy.
It's sloppy. Yeah.
And then you got caught up in your feelings, and now you done embarrass yourself and everyone. And I hope this woman recovers. The other person is alive.
He's dead.
The other person's dead.
He killed the guy.
Killed the guy. Oh God.
He was shot 6 times, and she is in critical condition in ICU in the hospital right now.
Look what you done, Nehemiah. How you feel now? Your life is done.
That's great.
And it should be, and you should get the death penalty for this. I have no sympathy for you.
None at all.
How many times in life have we all taken this L? We've all taken a L in life. Shout out to 108 Soul. We see you guys tomorrow. We've all, Mel Star, 5 p.m., 6 p.m. We've all taken a L in life.
B loves it, the cost of the coochie. Right.
Cost of the coochie.
Yeah,
so let me tell you something, Nehemiah. You would have found another woman that would be able to rock your nuts like she did. It might have took 2 or 3 or 4 of us down the road. I understand. She was putting a feather in your rectum and you lost your mind.
A feather?
She put that Vin Range red ball in your mouth like Pulp Fiction and started smacking your ass. And you was like, that was the best sex you ever had in your life. But that doesn't mean that you kill someone and shoot her.
Say it.
The poor guy. I get it. Like, if some Vicks Range guy was plowing down my wife right now and I find out, I'm going to be hurt.
I understand.
I'm going to be hurt, bro. I'm going to be hurt.
He was
but I'm not going to black out enough to kill this guy, kill my wife. I'm not going to do that.
I can understand.
Because we don't take personal inventory, Nehemiah.
He ain't had to kill
Take
him,
inventory. Read the stats, you idiot. one man, and there's 37 vaginas out here. You could have got in Reading, Pennsylvania, wherever the hell that is down the block. There's probably 100 available vaginas this morning that you could have fell into. And if you want to come over here to Bethlehem, there's one right here sitting next to me. Sure. But no, you didn't read the stats.
And what his crazy
Sir, we getting ready out here. Sir, you didn't read the stats. Because that's probably one of the things I'm going to think about if that ever happens. I never want that to happen to me in my marriage. Before I kill somebody, I'm going to go, wait a minute.
I can understand where you come from because, baby, when I popped up at the ex's house, I can understand. I'm just going to say I can understand where he coming from. But I had, like you said, my thought process, I said, girl, you going to go to jail. You ain't got time to be in nobody's jail cell. But I understand.
But Barbi, say if you acted out and you went to jail, the ex is going to still smash vagina.
Right, I know. That's why I had to thought about it. The best way of revenge is to show them that you doing great and you didn't do it.
You can't do that. I understand.
That's why I said I understand where it come from, but my thought process was like, girl, you too cute for jail. You better go sit down somewhere.
If Mr. Marcus and Wesley Pipes was smashing my wife, butt-ass nigga with the white socks on, gang-banging this chick, I am not going to kill nobody. I got to take that out.
Just to eat it. I eat that one.
Fellas, remember this. Yeah. Read the stats.
Ooh.
One man, literally 43 vaginas. Literally. There's one right here next to me.
Right. You keep catching me off guard with that one. Because I was about to comment to Big Love.
Nehemiah, she could have got anybody.
Sure, you gosh.
What they were saying.
Big Love's the right, Barbie. We don't do jumpsuits. Right. Orange is not my color. I prefer green.
No. There's some of your soul sisters that got the jumpsuit on and incarcerated right now.
Yeah, some of them are. They on Snap. I ain't going to be on Snap.
And Barbi, they didn't read the stats.
They didn't.
Because it's weird with us. Instead, we rather hurt somebody else than take personal inventory of self.
A good punch in the mouth with a
because the instant gratification of it is so overwhelming that we want to hurt. Fellas, the vagina is an easy one. Don't get me wrong. You hear me talking. If that was to happen to me, I'd probably be in that corner over there crying like a little baby because those are my feelings. And then I'm going to cry and I'm going to get through it. And then I'm going to go out there and there's more vagina. Because that's all it is, bro. I mean, I say that respectively to the vagina.
Sure you man.
But you don't go to jail for it.
Yeah, I can't go to jail.
Because what? Now you in jail and you're like, oh, that's all right. I'm here because I checked that bitch. No.
I mean, I can understand, but no I can't do it.
Right, you can understand. But say Barbie Cologne, God forbid, you got locked up. And now you in jail. Now your son, they don't took your son away.
Well, he was grown up.
But I'm just saying, say if he was.
Right. He would have been children's services.
All that. No, Barbie Cologne's not a mother. She shot this guy. Why did she sue him?
I didn't kill him.
They go, why did she kill her? Because he was having sex with the other lady. Oh, take the baby.
Both of them in the head.
Take the baby. Take the baby away.
Right.
Now you in jail, supervised visits by your kids. Nobody's coming to see you. And guess who's not coming to see you, Barbie? The baby father.
Of course, because he going to be dead.
Right. Or if he survived.
He ain't survived.
Damn, Barbie.
Hey, if I'm going to go to jail, I'm going to go to jail, okay? I'm not going to go to jail for attempted murder. It's going to be daggone it. It's going to be, I'm going to complete the task.
But Barbie, say if you didn't. Okay, say it was attempted or you hurt.
I'm like, God, yeah,
right,
the plan.
But Barbie, you'll be sitting in jail.
Mad as hell because I failed the mission.
Right, and on top of that, he's going to go on with his life.
Right, but he might be handicapped now.
It doesn't matter.
I'm just saying.
And that's the thing that,
because I foiled the plan. I didn't fail the mission.
Right, and that's what we failed to realize. What did you do? You could have went another angle with this.
Marcus, you said, well, that was the old me, y'all. I don't think like that anymore.
Fellas and to the ladies. I know I say these in the most simplest form.
You can put the red flag.
I'm just saying, like, she's just going out there and get enough of the relationship is over. Going out there and get another vagina and another penis, pause, and go on with your life and just chalk it up as an L and keep it pushing. It's a learning experience. We talk about it all the time. But Nehemiah's, don't do what Nehemiah's did. Nehemiah's, because he was so emotional because he had a dab of narcissism, but he wanted to control the situation, guys. Well, now you're in custody. And God bless. All right, guys. Barbi's not feeling well. Barbi, I hope that you feel better later today. We're going to get out of here. Let's put some prayer emojis in for Barbi Cologne. Great job today, Barbi, as she's feeling sick. So we're going to get out of here. Barbi, we'll wave at them over there if you don't mind. We'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless you guys. We are out of here.